All right. Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon. Today I have a special guest on our podcast, Mr. Aru Shalvam, the Deputy Chairman of Parti Socialist Malaysia. Welcome, Aru.
Thank you, Dato.
Yeah. Parti Socialist Malaysia. Always fighting for the workers. I'm very proud of PSM. But they have to start winning.
Okay.
Otherwise, your voice will not be heard. Right. You have to start winning in Parliament.
True.
Okay, today we are not talking politics, okay. Today we are talking about workers.
Right.
You see, when Anwar came to power, with a lot of hopes from everybody, including from me, And I know reforms are not easy to implement immediately. And not all of them, But the one thing that I thought there would be reform is on the way we treat foreign workers, migrant workers, and the issue of how to regulate this entry and retain them properly, pay them properly, treat them humanely. We don't seem to have any progress. More of the same. Hari-hari kita dengar cerita, tangkap sana, tangkap sini. And then there's some issues of abuse by the employer, right. Workers gaji tak bayar, and so on and so forth. Okay, so nothing's changed. So, can you please start by explaining to me what are the problems, the main problem of these migrant workers in this country?
Okay, thank you, Dato. I think one major issue is migrant workers. You can consider them as cheap labor.
Cheap labor, yeah.
They do the 3D job, difficult, dangerous, and all the tough jobs with the migrant workers. So Malaysia employers keep claiming that we need migrant workers. Without workers, we are gone. Our economy is shattered and all that. And we consider that cheap labor policy, when you want to bring in migrant labor, because a lot of Malaysians go daily to Singapore to do the 3D works in Singapore. So the question is, Malaysia is a country which we need migrant workers, but another big thing behind this is a migrant worker is a big business.
It's a big business.
It's a big business. If it is not a big business, so I think Malaysia is one country where two ministries are involved, the Human Resource Ministry and the Home Ministry.
Two ministries to jaga foreign workers.
And all this while, there was coalition been calling for only one ministry to handle, no? We've been calling, I think Ishamuddin Yunus had an independent commission, also called for one ministry to handle. But no, two ministries, because there's a lot of money at stake.
Oh.
So
even under Madani also two ministries.
See, under Madani, I think the best thing Madani did was when there was suddenly one day they saw 170 workers walking to the police station in Johor. They were arrested. And then they were, why are you arrested? We have no work. We have been there suffering, And then Saifuddin Nasution, the Home Minister, and Stephen Sim did a joint statement. Very promising. He said first time two ministers saying that we want to take action, and they said they asked the employer to pay back money, But then just a few days ago we saw in Malaysia Kini the scandal, how the syndicates cannot be killed. And even I made a statement, and then Stephen Sim came up with another statement. He said, let's blacklist the companies. This is old story, Dato.
Yeah.
Because they must blacklist individuals. And if you look at Ishamuddin Yunus, the independent commission, they say it's deep-rooted. Corruption is deep-rooted in the ministry with civil. So this is said by a former judge.
Yes, I think you are referring to the Independent Committee on Foreign Workers.
Right, Dato.
About 4 years ago.
Correct.
Chaired by Hishamuddin, the judge.
Yes.
He's a good man.
Yes.
And I think the report has been declassified. I think you can read the report. And it shows a lot of abuse by high-powered people.
Right.
It's a scam, lah.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, do you think Anwar Ibrahim will take action on this report?
I think he should lah. So far he
But he hasn't.
he hasn't. So we think there are. See, there's two.
Maybe
two
the
issues.
syndicate is bigger than him.
Yeah, probably. Because there's one call. We have a lot of refugees, people coming from
Yeah.
last time Aceh, now
Aceh.
Myanmar, from Sri Lanka. These are refugees.
Yeah.
They are in Malaysia. People said, why not give them jobs?
Yes.
You have a situation where they are in the country, but Malaysia don't want to give these people jobs. It means this is something which can be resolved. They're all registered under the UNHCR.
Yes.
So it's not something very difficult.
Difficult.
They are not doing it. And then they have currently, Dato', there has been some improvement. For example, you don't pay cash anymore in immigration. Everything is online payment. The 11th Malaysia plan asked for the government to reduce migrant labour by 50%. But when Anwar came to power, he actually brought in more migrants because all the employers go and check him, say, we need, kita perlu, kalau tak ada
More worker.
economy, all that, so buka lagi. So a lot of people come in.
We have about 4 or 5 million workers who are either documented or not documented. I don't know. Yeah. Now that is almost like what, 15% of the workforce.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of people, And so I want to come back to this issue. Why is it so difficult to, can we ask the Prime Minister, why can't you at least accept the first recommendation? Only one ministry involved. Let it be human resources.
Right.
Because we are talking about workers.
Correct.
And other countries, can you tell me if I'm wrong? I don't think in other countries you need to apply to 2 or 3 ministries to sort out this sort of problem.
Right. So in Malaysia, what happens is, there was the 11th Malaysia plan recommended one ministry, but still not done.
Not done.
Not done. Because, always, the Home Ministry might be under UMNO, the or the ruling part, the main component.
Now PKR lah.
Now PKR. And then the human resource might be another party. So there's a lot to do with making money, if you ask me.
Oh, so it's corruption then.
Corruption. But you see that the current system is, when someone wants to apply for a job, first they must declare there's no Malaysians want to work. Okay, so they have to declare that. Then the Human Resource Ministry will say, okay, this job, plantation, we need foreign workers. This job, restaurant, we need. This job, cutting hair, no need. They decide.
Yeah.
They decide the quota. After they decide the quota, then they go to the Home Ministry for the approval. There's a one-stop center. One-stop center got ministry people from Home Ministry, Human Resource Ministry, and the other ministry which is who wants the labour. For example, MITI, construction, that whichever ministry. So they got 3 people discussing that. But then after deciding all that, the Home Ministry can issue special passes. These special passes might not be scientific. How many workers you need? They can issue. So if you and all these companies who are recruiting workers, they actually they register in our our ROC, ROB. They register. They will get quota. All their documents. Dato', I show you one. Dato', you've been in the ministry. Dato', just you look at this document.
Kementerian Dalam Negeri.
Okay.
Kelulusan bersyarat pekerja asing. Okay.
See, Dato', this
It's signed by Ketua Setiausaha bagi pihak Ketua Setiausaha Kementerian Dalam Negeri.
But I want to tell you a joke, Dato'. This letter is a fake letter.
Oh.
And what happened was, I had a client who came to my office who said that he paid a person who works from the immigration department 70,000 ringgit to get Bangladeshi workers. So he gave this letter and all that. So he was very excited. He went to the using this letter, he went and applied everything. They said this is a fake letter. So he lodged a police report. Police never acted on it. The people who cheated him are still around there. He tells me, he shows me photo. See their Facebook, they are going there, going here. When he came to me, I lodged a report. I even wrote a letter to IGP, to Ayub Khan, because people say Ayub Khan is the most honest policeman in town. Who wrote to him? I said, why isn't the... Suddenly I get a letter from the police saying that issue ini sudah diselesaikan. And I wrote again and asking, what diselesaikan? The person are still there. This is a fake letter. The people who issued this fake letter is still around. So I'm just telling about a small case which came to me.
Yeah.
Imagine the...
What happens throughout the country?
Yeah, Malaysia kini is talking about huge. Malaysia kini talks about a person who has a family members, all director of a company, got 9,999 because I think the 10,000 is the limit lah. She got 9,999 to get migrant workers for plantation. And they don't run plantation. They don't run plantation. So they take all these workers and they sell. So Dato, you want workers? I pay you,
So I think we need the proper... I mean, I don't think the government is serious about fighting corruption. If this is what is happening, I mean, it's okay for, to target one or two politicians, It makes a lot of news.
Mm-hmm.
But the real corrupt team are deep-rooted in the government. This is proof that if we cannot solve our migrant workers, we cannot solve all this problem because of that money. It's a big money involved.
Right.
We are involved, it's very sad. It's like nobody can solve this problem. Or nobody's willing to.
Right. Recently, the Bangladeshi government, the new government, because Bangladesh had a change of government, they are asking Malaysia to send back two of their former citizens. Now they're Malaysian citizens, so Bangladeshi, who made huge money in recruiting migrant labor from Bangladesh. And we're talking about Madani and corruption. I think when Anwar says kita lawan rasuah, I will not give face to anybody.
Yeah.
But with the DNAA of the Deputy Prime Minister, that itself, underlines everything else. When people talk about it, the legitimacy. When you melawan rasuah itu, I think that is lost. Okay. Itu
but
masalah dia.
that involves politician.
Okay.
But this corruption we're talking about in migrant workers involves also civil servant, I'm sure.
Dato, there was a charge against Zaid Hamidi on Bangladeshi workers before.
Oh.
There was an issue on this. So what I'm trying to say is the people is not only we're talking about small timers lah.
Yeah, of course.
What Malaysia Kini report also says that all the small fellas have been arrested. Some have been government servant have been transferred out and all that. The syndicate is still there, still around.
Okay.
Every time a new civil servant takes over, they can get to him because they are so powerful.
Yeah.
So I think the recent statement by Stephen Sim says, "Give me the names, we will blacklist." I think I got only one question. That we always see us every time migrant workers being arrested. They are here, Johor, Perak, Masjid India. When an employer employs an illegal worker, it's already a criminal act. He cannot harbour. We never see not even one case of an employer being charged. I heard last time they charged one or two, but I've never seen employer being charged. If they start charging employers, I think then they will stop. They will stop taking illegal workers. The system can be somehow resolved.
Yeah. But you mentioned just now about the Bangladesh fellas, the new government in Bangladesh asking for these two Bangladesh they want to extradite him, right? They want to take him back. So what happened?
But they're Malaysian citizen now. They've been given Malaysian citizenship. They're some Dato. They've been made huge. They've made huge money in Malaysia.
And they become citizen.
They become Malaysian citizens.
That's very quick.
Yeah, and Now how to extradite them back to Bangladesh? So it's very funny because Bangladesh government saying send these fellas back. We got so much cases against them. And they are now Malaysian citizen. I'm sure, in fact, Malaysia MACC should catch those two fellas, investigate them. I think a lot of names will come out.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course, MSCC won't investigate lah.
Okay. MSCC is depends on which prime minister lah. For me, I always say MSCC under Mahathir found Najib not guilty. MSCC under Najib found Najib not guilty.
Yeah.
MSCC under Mahathir found him guilty. So MSCC is consistent. Ikut cakap Perdana Menteri. Mana-mana Perdana Menteri kita ikut. Itu.
Yeah. It's very sad lah, our country. There's no institution that we can trust. There's no regulation, there's no enforcement agency we can trust. But I want to come back to these foreign workers.
Okay.
Now, if we have 3 or 4 million people who are not documented, don't you think that is also a security issue for the country?
It is. You see, they say like people don't go to Singapore because Singapore enforcement very strict. Very, very strict. Malaysia, they say easy. Okay. One is you can corrupt. Or 2 ministry. you can corrupt. That's another thing, Another issue is every time this issue comes up, every government do process pemutihan. Again, you put money in, all that, they do process pemutihan, Like I heard like some countries like Japan and all, when they bring migrant labor, they only bring 1 term, 5 years, like that. They come 5 years, they work, after 5 years,
They go.
the country which brings them, like they will take them back. They will ensure they will bring the workers. But Malaysia, no. Once they are here, just keep, they want to, this restaurant guy, he cannot get a worker because the the Human Resource Ministry said, we are not going to give workers.
Restaurant.
You can employ Malaysian workers. So he'll find an agent. This agent will give him the workers. So he works. So suddenly, he came in legally, he becomes illegal. Then he works until one day he'll get caught. Okay, when he gets caught, first thing they'll ask him, where is his passport? Under the law, the migrants have to hold their passport. But no migrants holds their passport. It's all held by the employer. They hold it because they're scared he'll run away to another place. So what they do, they'll call the boss in. So boss will call him lah. Okay lah. Police will call the boss. Immigration will call the boss and say, hey, this worker. So we don't know what happens after that. Okay, if there's clear enforcement, they should have arrested the employer, deport the worker. Or maybe put him back in plantation sector. So this doesn't happen because along the way there is corruption.
Yeah. So enforcement of whatever law we have is not going to work lah. There's no enforcement lah, basically.
Actually, Dato', you tengok our recruitment process, I baca, cantik.
Okay.
Very, very nice.
Okay.
You must declare. A company who says I need foreign worker must first show temu janji untuk pekerja. But people won't go there for interview. We did a study in Sungai Siput. We went and checked because they put this one. Then they will take photos. They'll show to the government. You see, I put this banner. No one applied for job. So we asked some of the people there to apply. They're normally dismissed. They're not allowed because migrant labor easy. Duit kurang, manage them easy. Can treat them like.
Yeah, you can treat them like slave lah.
Yeah.
Gaji murah.
There was once a town hall meeting I attended, organized by the government. Teresa Kok that time, community and Kula, must time human resource. Lot of employers. I was the minority there representing workers' interests. And then the employers were telling we want this migrant because Malaysian workers cannot be scolded. So they say in restaurant. Tabiat scold. No, I said, why do you have to treat them like that? But they're saying, the employers say, even kita boleh bayar lebih. They want the government to open up, allow more migrant labor. So there's a strong lobby, one lot of migrant labor. That is why Malaysia Kini is telling, one part they're telling this, so many, we need migrant labour. And we have seen many cases where there are many migrant labourers, no work.
Yeah, because maybe, Aru, maybe they ask for, they don't really want migrant workers, they want the quota.
Ah, okay.
With that, they can give to other people.
Correct. So the company which gets the quota,
Yeah,
they get 1,000 quota,
yeah.
they sell the quota,
They sell the quota. So they make more money, they don't have to worry about the workers.
right? And I see the system very good. I heard I talked to the human resource ministry people. They said no, before the management want to apply, they must show us they have a hostel. The hostel got bed to sleep and all that looks nice, But in real terms, everything is manufactured. Like the letter, like this one, everything is manufactured. Everything is lampu hijau, and so I think one is enforcement. I think one is to go for employers, because if you tangkap this orang yang miskin ni, we always catch the fly. The fly already come from Bangladesh, Nepal. Is already in debt 20,000, 30,000. Another one which we recommend is he's promised one salary in Bangladesh or in Nepal. Gaji RM2,000. Kerja di kilang. He come to the airport. His agent is missing. A new fella comes. He said, okay, sorry, this is your new contract. Gaji 1,500. Kerja di sektor pembinaan. He said, no, I'm supposed to work in factory. He said, no. You want, you take this? I don't know. Of course you'll take it because he's in a foreign country. He already spent 20,000 in his own home country. Then he works illegally in the construction site. He has no desire to work. He will try to run away. He will, once he thinks he's in the country, he can manage lah. He got some other Bangladeshi here, some family. They survive. It is very sad actually because the migrant labour, they are cheated in their home country.
They cheated here.
They cheated here. And we in our recommendation, Dato', we have asked the government that we must recognise the first contract they sign. That contract should be taken, And there's one precedent case in the labour court where the court says we follow the original document. Because here they manipulate, they're under duress when they start.
Yeah, they're not free. They're already stranded here.
Yes.
If they don't accept, they don't have a job.
Right.
Yes. Now, what other things that you think the government should do besides? I don't know. There's a lot of things they have to do but is there anything that the workers themselves, is there anything they can organize themselves better?
See, this is a problem. You see, under the labour law, it says any worker can join a union.
Yes.
Under immigration law says a migrant labour cannot involve in any organisation. So there's a contradiction there. Then you have Public Assembly Act. It says foreigners cannot participate in protest. So I'm always stuck, because nak meluahkan perasaan, tak boleh melalui union. Kerana you are foreigner, you tak boleh join union. And kita punya union, they lihat foreigners sebagai musuh kadang-kadang because they say, they're grabbing my job. So, cannot. Itu one masalah. Second thing, they are not paid for few months. The best way for me to highlight the issue is put them on a picket line and raise their thing, which picketing is a fundamental human rights, is it?
Yeah.
Against the Akta Perhimpunan Aman. Foreigners cannot involve in picket line, no? So baru-baru ini, Dato', in I think in Teluk Intan there was this issue bendera, Chinese flag and all that. Malaysia, very racially divided country. They are charging them not because of flag, because of involved in a demonstration. Akta Perhimpunan. So I think one is that. So in Malaysia, unionization is so low.
Yeah. In fact, they're discouraged.
Correct.
The government discouraged. In fact, I remember those days, in the earlier Malaysia, forming union is quite easy.
Correct.
Now, a certain sector cannot if you must belong to that group
In 1947 that time, we had 67% unionized.
Yeah.
Today, 6%.
Yes.
And number of people who can go into collective agreement, out of the 6%, only 1% of the workforce can go into collective
agreement. Yeah.
So it's very sad lah.
Very sad. So this is where Aru, this sort of reform for workers and for migrant workers must come through a political process.
Right.
Right.
But Dato, migrant workers don't give you vote, so no politicians are interested.
No. If you tell the people of this country that if you don't solve these migrant workers,
Right.
if you have 3-4 million people that you don't know where they're from,
Okay.
and you don't give them proper job, they don't get proper salary, there'll be problem.
Then you'll get that's what Donald Trump won.
Yeah, you'll get problem. The economy will tank, and they might even know safety in the streets.
Correct.
So I think people should look beyond the immediate. A worker, 3 or 4 million foreign workers undocumented, it's a threat to our country. It's a problem. At the same time, we can use them if we regulate properly.
Right.
Because we need workers, But if we allow this corruption to stop all this process, this is bad. So you have to find a political solution, Mr. Aru.
Yeah, that's true. You see, the workers in Malaysia have no bargaining power because of migrant labour.
Yeah.
Because they say, you nak kerja, tak nak kerja keluar.
Yes.
Okay, so they are stuck. So when we cannot organize the local worker and the migrant worker together because most of them are not unionized. And recently the new human resource minister says, the previous minister says he want to increase 30%. And then I think some corruption also on migrant issue, something he was dropped by Mahathir. The new Stephen Sim came in. So Stephen Sim is very popular. He talks to the union. He's a very popular minister. The fundamental issue is you need to increase the income of the local workers. You have to make, I think that's another factor, And we have contradictory statement. When minimum wage was increased to 2007, of course a lot of people make, yang dapat itu migrant labour. Then Stephen Sim came up with the statistics. Say 80% of workers who are getting minimum wage is Malaysian workers. So Malaysian workers yang benefit.
Yes.
Then Rafizi came out with another statement. Rafizi says, no, kebanyakan gaji minima itu foreign worker. That's why we want to have progressive wage policy. So this progressive wage policy, Dato', just to give you, it is not wajib. It's voluntary.
Yes.
How can a voluntary thing, which majikan want to join into a voluntary scheme? And why they want to join is because the government will give you money, 100 to 300 ringgit per worker. That means if I'm a boss, I got 1,800, kerajaan bagi saya 200 ringgit, like COVID time. But the employer is asking the government, after 1 year, who's going to pay this fella? Because the government only pays for a year. So this progressive wage, even in Singapore, only certain sectors they allow progressive wage, including security guard. Because Singapore wants their locals to work in the security guard, not foreigners. Because they think it's a security issue.
Yes.
So in Malaysia, in Anwar's budget talk, Rafizi, they all give a illusion that progressive wage is the solution. We did a round table. We invited the people from the ministry, Raja Rasya from all these people, a Filipino expert on workers issue. They all say this progressive wage won't work. Won't work. Yeah.
Tapi Rafizi always have new formula lah.
Yeah. It just takes us for a ride for some time. Then you comes with a new formula. Yeah.
So coming back to the political thing, I think we have difficult though it may be. How do you get the workers? I'm talking about local workers. Interested in this issue of union, interested in the issue of fighting even for the foreign workers.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, At the end of the day, if you have a proper system, it will benefit the locals too.
Correct.
Right. I mean, if foreign workers only come in because of we really have no local who wants to work, that's okay. But sometimes the employer don't want to get you because your salary is more.
No, actually, it's how segregation of workplace lah. Because migrant labour, they put them in one hostel, kongsi, control like military, security guard, keep their passport. They're bonded labour lah.
Bonded labour, yeah.
So Malaysian workers, like that. And then Malaysian workers every day not happy with all these foreign workers lah. Because when the main thing is for union is to go and talk to migrant labour, talk to local workers to accept migrant labour. Together you are stronger.
Yes.
But this is the problem with our unions. Our unions are actually very career minded. Many union leaders are career minded. They sit in the, they've been there for many years. They earn quite well. So that is why it's important to actually really ensure the unions are built stronger. There must be restriction on migrant labour. The government have to amend the law to allow the migrants the immigration law should not prevent them from joining unions. And the union must take care of them. Then their welfare is taken care of.
Yeah.
Then we can make sure the hostels are really built. There's really mattress in the hostel.
Yeah.
Salary is properly paid. Another big issue with this bonded labour is this using of agent, where they are already indebted 20,000-30,000 ringgit by the employer.
Yes.
So government always wanted to have government to government, Malaysia government to Indonesia government. Don't have this agent, But until today, most employer will tell you, if I go to the immigration department myself, it's very difficult. They will ask me to do that, this. I go to this agent. Agent will count him everything for me because you need to check the health of the workers. You must go to clinics. So everything they will do it for you because they have got the networks. This is not what I'm telling. This is all the reports are saying.
Yeah.
They have got networks. They get everything. They'll count him. The one-stop center. So in our recommendation 2017, we are asking all the workers, before they come to Malaysia, you must have a training courses for them. Bring them. Make sure they only Human Resource Ministry handle. No special pass.
Yeah.
Human Resource Ministry handle. Okay, we need construction. 4,000 workers. Where are the companies? Which companies?
Which company? Yeah.
Clearly, you come and ask me, we give you. So government must manage, not outsource it. So I think it can be done, Dato. It's not difficult, but I think, to start off it, you have to tangkap some employer who tangkap pekerja migrant. Then all the employers will be takut. Then they try to follow the law. Now it's the easy way. You tangkap the pekerja, majikan happy, pekerja tangkap, pekerja you can make some deal and get them back out. You got 4 million illegal workers, and then time to time when Malaysian workers are unhappy, you blame on the crime rate. Malaysians higher than migrant, but always crime rate, they say pasal migrant. There's a xenophobia kind of. Then you have some people go around, apa pasal you motorcycle tada license. So there's a whole, this one, blaming everything on the migrant when the problem is the system.
Yeah.
The system doesn't help them,
Yeah. It's, I think we should go back to the Prime Minister on this. I think you should have another meeting with the Prime Minister and bring a bigger delegation.
Okay.
Organize a political grouping. Not like Sabah lah, how to share kerusi, but bring a political group and not just you, but the political group that wants to fight for the workers, for the dignity of workers, for the protection of workers, and also foreign workers, because foreign workers also manusia, bah.
Yeah.
So you bring a delegation, meet the Prime Minister. What do you think? Get PAS involved. Are you close to PAS?
No, we are okay. We are pro workers. Any party,
yes.
That's not an issue. But Dato, last year October, Anwar Ibrahim declassified Ishamuddin Yunus report.
Yes.
It was not declassified under Mahathir, Ismail Sabri, Muhyiddin Yassin, no?
Yeah.
So he declassified, very good.
Very good.
But that's not enough. He should actually, Ishamuddin Yunus is now the Suakam chair.
Yeah.
She should actually sit with him. Because in Ishamuddin report, I think it's a very good report because it highlights all the problems, you know.
Yeah.
So he should actually, by now, because what has happened now, I questioned this 2 days ago when Malaysia Kini reported. I asked, because Stephen Sim and Saifuddin Asatan said we're forming a task force. So every time there's a task force. Now suddenly this one happens. Now he's talking about a blacklist. So I think the Prime Minister should actually look into the report first. No need to start from A. No need to start the new research.
No need to have task force or no need to do. You see, this is what happened in the system is almost like broken.
Right.
Okay. So the way to, if the Prime Minister is interested to find a solution, bring Hishamuddin, bring Datuk Seri Hishamuddin, who's a Suakam chairman, bring all those groups who represent, who likes or who has a strong view about workers' rights, bring them together and then identify the solution. But maybe, as I said, maybe the Prime Minister also is not as powerful as he seems. Maybe the cartel is stronger. This is what happened to Trump during his first term.
Right.
You know why he's appointing all sorts of fellas now? He just don't trust them.
Correct.
And during his first term, he appointed A, B, C, D. And they're all part of the state, part of the deep state.
Because I just read one part of what Ishamuddin said. Dubbed the dysfunctional state of the country, foreign workers management system with alleged corrupt practices positioned at its epicenter. Okay. It says non-transparent appointment of recruitment agencies or outsourcing entities for sourcing foreign workers as the most. So there's all the recruitment agencies all are problematic, Yeah. And so I think he talks about corruption, okay? Yeah. Corruption rampant.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think
this is where the Prime Minister should focus,
right?
Instead of personalities,
Right.
Okay, you can go to the personalities, it gets the news, but when he talks about people swindling money, it's all from the machinery of government.
Correct. Exactly. If we resolve the migrant issue, I think it's a big issue, and I think then you have to have, because in our recommendation we have actually talked about how to safeguard the interests of the workers, but also to ensure that you only take workers we need from
we need
legal workers, and make sure they work where they need, and then wages need to be increased, because if you look at Dato', there's a formula, government formula, how minimum wage should be calculated. You should include inflation, productivity, medium wage. All there's a formula which the government in their own. This one says this is how minimum wage. So you put all the figure into this formula. It says minimum wage should be 2,444 ringgit. Now, for rural Malaysia should be 1,800 something. For urban should be rural is 1,008, urban is 2,000, 5,000 something. For Malaysia, 2,444, So now then you complain Malaysia workers don't want to work. They are going to overseas, they're going to Singapore, they're not interested to work, we need foreign labor. So you have to address the issue of wages.
Yeah.
Increase the wages, But now you see because I think the employers also, when we had this meeting with the employer, they also not happy. They also want only one ministry to handle, because two ministry maybe more money. They can save the money, give the workers better salary. So I think that's a way out.
But I think you should, I know, you should try and get an appointment to see the Prime Minister, get Hishamuddin involved again.
Okay.
And get some big heavyweight political people.
Okay.
And fight for the workers once and for all. And this should be your manifesto for 20 what? 26.
26, 28, I think. 26.
26 election. And then I hope you become a member of parliament, Aru.
Thank you.
Because your voice will be better heard there, because a lot of fellows in parliament are just yelling away.
Okay.
They're quite useless, actually. So people like yourself should stand up. I mean, somebody should speak up for the workers, and the PSM is the best vehicle. So I hope you and Jaya and all that will be able to be in parliament. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to add? Last one.
No, I think
What's your hope, lah? What's your hope?
I think like Dato said, Madani gave us a lot of hope, lah. Because when
Yeah.
Anwar became Prime Minister,
Kita semua semangat.
he's the first reformist Prime Minister.
Yeah.
That's why when I was actually initially not happy when Bersih gave him a D. So I tanya lah orang Bersih, why bagi D lah, isn't Anwar better than Mahathir? I mean, we talk about reform lah, Mahathir time you had judges. I think you are the one who brought them. you recognized the 5 judges those days. So, but then, if you look at, they are very angry because Anwar, rhetoric-wise, positioning-wise,
Nombor 1 lah.
is good.
Yeah.
So let's, I think 2 years sudah, now is the time. You have to make that reforms.
Yeah.
You have to resolve.
Slow down the rhetoric.
Yeah.
Action.
Yes.
Okay, on that note, we end our conversation today with Aru, and I hope we can continue this discussion in the near future. Thank you, Aru.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dato'. Thank you.